Alright, hello, and welcome to part 3 of our guide to Survivor 8% in Rain World. Now, after exiting drainage and going to filtration, if you feel as though the rain is coming, as I've said, or you do not feel safe for going through the next part of the area or through depths, or if you're just starting and you want save points, you go through here, and I've already eaten them to survive the previous cycle, but there will be 4 berries here. You will always have the chance to eat all of them and go to this shelter and save. So there'll be 4 berries here. Some of them you may not be able to see as easily, but they'll light up when you cross them, so you can get them. Now, the main way to go through here, if you're not going through there, or if you're coming from the shelter to the left, is to go through, just kind of jump down, roll, boost off of it, and then you just want to fall. If you go from a forced fall to a free fall to another sheltered area, you want to press A again to go down, to go faster again, because you're like, I'm stuck here, and I was just in a free fall. Do it again, time it right. It looks like you're in a total free fall the whole time, even though you weren't. You want to go down more. Now, this is the weird part. You don't really want to grab onto this. You kind of just want to go and then not fall through it, but land here, go here. It's a little strange thing to get. Now, this is the point where you need to be slightly worried. 1, you don't really want to go in backwards as I'm doing it. But 2, there can be a blue that randomly roams through most of subterranean, and there could also be one of the moles, or even 2 that are down here. So fast, if you hear them, I recommend not fast falling and then hitting your face or tail straight into the ground, because then they'll know you're there, and then climbing out of this area is terrible. Let's just say that it is a huge waste of time. If you get down into here, you can usually just do whatever shenanigans, jump around it and go through that pipe, and you do whatever. If you're trying to hide from a mole lizard because it can't see, you're kind of like, oh, I can outsmart it by going here. Well, this is a warp pipe. It will probably take the warp pipe. Don't take your bets on being safe by being right here. That's what all I have to say. Remember to grab things if you can, passively. Now, here's the part where you just kind of have to remember it. Maybe you look at the map a little bit and you're like, oh, that's what that looks like. Oh, cool. There's 2 dots and there's 1 wide slot where your slug cat can fall through. Maybe 2 wide, whatever. You want to go through those 2 pipes that are going horizontally in front of us. I kind of boost out of it, be whatever. I went to the top one. Now you can either fast fall and slam your face into the ground. You won't get stunned. But if you hear a mole lizard in the area, that might be a good idea. So you hold down and slide on that ledge, and then you go down here and boost off of that. Now there's 2 ways to do this. He's in a good position. 1. I don't hear any other ones. So the good way to do it is just fast fall down here, immediately at this transition, boost off of here. Now I now see the one in front of me, which means that it is impossible to pass him. So the backup way is to just fall straight down, and then to go not boost like that, and then go up here and take this pipe. Now I don't know where this other one is, so I like to know where they are, and he'll now try to get me. There's not much you can do about this. There is a point where you come down to luck. If you are fast enough, it is much more likely that they will not be in the way. Is one thing I do have to say. If you do have your brightness up and up, you can usually see the frills of their whiskers once they're aggroed. This one's just stuck and is being an idiot. Honestly, there's nothing you can do about that. It's happening. Let's see, you should be able to see the slight frill of his whiskers. And then what you want to do is to come at the top of the screen. Also, you may notice that Slugcat is passively looking at lizards. if they are in front of him, it may just be that he's looking straight in front of him, but he will look at enemies if they are there. That is something you should take into account. Now, if there's any lizards below you, they may be climbing the pipe that is separating this area. If they are, you could probably just fast fall in their face and they won't even know what's happening. If they fall down with you, that's probably a bad thing. But you just want to fast fall straight down. This part can have a lot of lizards right where you're falling into, like this one right here. This one has no idea you're there, and there's no way that it is going to immediately snap you. So now you just want to go to the right. Usually you don't get a roll like that, and usually the lizard doesn't react as fast like that. It was probably because I made a lot of noise with the roll. But you want to fast fall down. There's a chance that they could be down where I am right now. I would say do not worry about it, but if you do land like on the side right here, make a lot of noise, and they start crawling up, that's the point where you should start worrying. And then you should climb back up to here, and then just you'll be safe up there because they can't traverse the poles. If there is one up above you in this area, you cannot cross through this area. That's really bad. Now we're going this way. Now some people don't like this blind fall down this ladder part, but the only thing you have to worry about is the low wall that you need to go down, because they don't know you're there exactly. They don't know you're falling down onto them. The one thing you do have to worry about that you can't really see is this wall there. It's very low. Take a boost here. If you have a rock, you could probably throw one behind you there and then boost across this. Once you go through this pipe, you're probably 100% set. I've seen 2 lizards try to go through this pipe from down to the right here. Ever. So now, here's the big one before depths that you want to get. I've messed that up more times than I can remember, but it's really cool, mostly because you're going across a false ground area. Also, going through this pipe, there is a chance of a lot of rocks being in it. I recommend just throwing them as you're going, because you do go slightly faster. Boost out of here, go up through here, get a roll, instant pounce. Now, thing about this is you can fall straight down and die. So you can take this as risky as you want. Fall straight down, wait for 3 screens. It's a little bit earlier, not completely at the bottom as you would imagine, and slink against the wall. If you slink against the wall for really any time, you should be fine. If you try to take a roll from a high height, you only get stunned and you won't take the roll, but you won't die. Like if you try to roll from a height you would die from, you would only get stunned. It's very strange how it works in reality. So now, going down into depths, you do immediately do a roll and then pounce out of it. I recommend doing it immediately. You could try to keep the roll if you want. Now you always get a roll going off of this. I have set up a way to do it before where you can jump off of this, you can throw something if you want, get a roll, do it long enough but not too long so it forces you out of it. If you start testing with rolls, you notice that there's a tone to it, like dun 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 dun. Kind of listen to it quickly. Try to get it at the good angle and then jump, and if you get over this mound into this, you might get a second roll and then be able to go down into here. I recommend instead of doing a slide into a throw, just to do a normal belly slide onto the pole, into another one. Now there is a chance you can get a roll off of that like I just did. It's really awkward if you notice that, because slopes and corners make no sense, as I will always say. Kind of just jump, hits that, does a roll, makes 0 sense. You did not fall the high enough height. Something I'll talk about, I don't know, put more into detail maybe in the extra section. Now, talk about the rolls a bit more. It's more applicable to a section a little bit later, but the earlier you jump out of a roll, the longer you will go, but the shorter you will go as well. And if you do it right at the end, you go as high as you can go, but you won't go as far necessarily. For Hunter, more specifically, and for both Monk and Survivor, if you're in depths, usually only for in depths, although I believe it's possible in other locations. In completely flat areas in depths, if you do the jump out right at the end, right at the last ding of the noises when you make a roll, you'll take the highest jump, and because the depths physics pushes you up slightly, you'll go straight into another roll. You can chain that infinitely. Hunter can do that naturally, but there's not really that many complete flat surfaces, and it would be better if you just did it throw behind rock slide. This can do some strange things over corners and slopes, but I don't recommend the pixel perfect precision that deals with. Now, you shouldn't go for this roll, as they can mess up like that, but you should go for this roll, going at the end, jumping at the end of the block. You should get the roll unless Slugcat decides to do like bend over backwards and die. Should get the roll, go through there, and then you can boost up and then roll and then go like that. But I also just recommend either going like this. If you get it at the right timing, you can go on a roll into it. And then I also recommend doing the belly slide, throw a thing behind you, go up, and then boosting. Make sure you try to learn where the spots are so you can go to it right immediately, and then you can go up into it and then press jump again, and then you'll get boosted out of it. Sometimes you get boosted really high, sometimes you just come out like that. Now, coming through this pipe is a lot stranger to get the pipe boost than you think into a roll. Something you just have to test. Normally you want the pipe boost. I recommend just doing a normal belly slide into a roll into not jumping, and then when you come out of a full roll standing is one thing you do need to remember. You could also do the belly slide rock throw behind you if you really want to. Once again, I will say that this is something that you can lose time on. It might be better to do something a bit simpler and not pressing 5 buttons really fast. Now this is the point where you need to remember that you need a spear once you get to the Guardian skip area. Now the spear is necessary just to get up. You can get up into the 3 Guardian room with a singular rock if you really need to. Keep that in mind, but I would always go for just spearing the wall strat. Now for right here, you want to be pouncing and then holding right, left immediately and be going up. Now here's where how long you roll matters, as the second one will be, let me do that again. You want to hold the second one a bit longer so you can get up there and not fall off like me, a complete imbecile. So from here, hold it for a second, hold this a little bit longer, and then you're up there. You obviously change that a little bit. Avant likes to say that he made that as well. Just for everyone, tell him that that's the Avant jump. Okay, so talk about right here for a second. I recommend there's nothing too crazy you could do coming off this block. You just roll into this. You can do a belly slide. And then there's some strange things about coming down into these areas and other places too, where you just kind of do where the fast fall is, kind of do like that. Kind of see that's fast fall into a roll. Sometimes you will fall backwards and be like this in there, and then you'll flip over and then you immediately be going into the roll, and it doesn't make sense. I recommend for here, just kind of jumping for it from here. You do not want to fall down here, because there's really no way out easily, and you'll probably jump like that. Make sure that your Slugcat's starting to grab it and it's not just up against it like that. Going up through, I recommend throwing a rock if you have one to spare there, and then not wall jumping off of it to the right and falling down. If you fall down here or the spot before, just know that there's a hole here. I recommend to take the hole instead of trying to get back up. If you do fall down, you could do a boost if you want by throwing a rock behind you or just sliding. There is a way to... Let me do that again. There's a way to perfectly go like this off the platform up there and fall into this, or you could just not do that, what I'm doing. But yeah, there's a way to perfectly fall into this. Just remember, it's the single block is a false floor. If you're holding down, you'll fall into it. Throw a rock behind you, or the spear I needed. Try not to do that in an actual one. Try not to waste time looking for spears. Just kind of go like, oh, there's a spear, grabbing it, falling down, up we go. Small time waste. Do not go backwards is what I will say, unless you're really just starting out. I recommend rolling into it and just pressing jump rapidly. It doesn't look like it, but it's the same thing as Slugcat grabbing the edge, even though he's completely backwards. It's really strange. And roll into it. It doesn't matter if you're upper or lower. Upper is a little bit better, and then you can just kind of do this. Going into this pipe is a little awkward. There's probably a better way to fast fall down here, because there's technically a whole singular block hole that you can go straight down, but trying to do that after a belly slide up here is not something that's consistent. So you really just do what you can. Try to fall past two of them at once, like that. And then I recommend trying to get, okay, whatever. There's one right here. Trying to get a roll here. If not, either just run across or do what I just did. And I recommend not jumping up on this, but jumping and then grabbing the pole. Saves a little bit of time. Now for this part, this is the Guardian skip, and this is where I'm going to explain this a little bit deeper. There is a lot of different ways to finish the game. You can bring a lot of different creatures and have the Guardians focus on that creature and kill it instead of you. Mostly this is done with a hazer that you can get in drainage. I probably would talk about that in the extra section for a little bit. But for Hunter, you really don't have that possibility. So there's the other two ways. One of them is much faster and far more riskier than the other one. And the one that we're going to try right now is the despawn skip, which was accidentally happened to a lot of people and then slowly developed into something that actually works. Now, to start off, you could just throw something behind you and go all the way across. But what you want to do is to get about here. If you're looking close enough, as you go across, you get a stutter here, and you get a stutter like right here. Maybe the stutter in the middle is good enough, but getting over here is to make sure that the room to the left is completely loaded in. It's completely loaded in, but the Guardians are not there until you enter the room. So to force despawn them is to go into this room, which will unload the room to the left, exit the room, and then about 6-7 seconds later, enter either the same room again or the room down to the right below. This will force the Guardians to completely despawn. Maybe they move off into space as there's completely empty void out to the left. Who knows what happens to them? They probably despawn as they go away the moment the room loads to the left. Now this is different for both Switch and PS4. I'm unsure how it works on PS4, but the 2 times it has worked on Switch, it has been about at 5 seconds waiting time before entering it. I'll do it right now in the old way I do it. I'm technically going to straight up wing this, if that makes any sense. As it was originally found, well, it was found by a lot of people, but when I originally found it, I just went from this right room to the room down, going really slowly. So I always consider, when would I exit this room to the right and enter the room to the bottom right if I was really bad at this game. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we go like enter, say hi to this guy for a second, immediately leave, try to get down here as fast as we can. So now guess, when will we go in? I would say we'd go in right now if we were bad. If not, you can just wait in the right thing and then re-enter the single guardian room when you think the time is up. I've found that I've failed that more times than I can count, comparative to guessing when I would enter if I was bad at the game. It's the only way I can say about that. Now, throwing the spear, recommend backflip, and then try to press up at the right time to grab it. Obviously I didn't make it, but immediately boosting out of the pipe, grabbing up, rolling more. I've failed the skip, so now we get to talk about the other way to do it. The other way to do it, which is the backup / faster way, is rock percent. Now this involves getting 2 of any throwable item. So we have 2 right now. Getting over here, and before they've ever aggroed to you, you want to throw them after. Well, let's just explain a few things first. One, you can't always count on the Guardian despawn to always work, as it is variable in itself. It may be variable on, I stood around for a long time explaining things just standing in depths. Maybe that made things load a little bit differently, It's 1,000 things that could change it. Maybe I just didn't go in at the right time. Maybe I should have just counted to 6 / 6.5, 7, and then entered the room. Whatever works for you is how it should be done. There's more testing, it would make it much better, and what you think is good. Now, rock percent, I will probably not make it, as it extremely unlikely to. It seems to be much easier for Hunter, just because they increase speed, and you have a spear on your back, so you have 3 things to throw. So now the general way that I've done it, being so far, I believe I'm the only person that has done it, you want to run up to them, and then jump when you're in that little gap between the reeds, at which point they'll both target you and then throw you up in the air. Once they have done their gravity attack on you and you're up in the air and they're no longer targeting you, that's when you throw the rocks. You throw them to the left so the rocks propel you to the left, and so you're trying to get as far left as you can. That was really bad because I got thrown to the right. Don't worry too much. You want to try to land. Okay, so now it's completely over. So let's consider there. I'm not sure what you'd call it. You know those machines where you put a ball at the top and it just bounces through all the pins and it lands in like 3 bins at the bottom? If the center bin is the green spot where you really want to land, the 2 on the side are the places where you really don't want to land. Like, left side would be the yellow spot. The right side would be you're dead. Haha, it's over. Because you'll just get pushed into the ground. You can't move. You can't die. No one understands what's happening. Maybe the 3rd one comes over, targets you, and then throws you up and down. You don't know. Doesn't matter. You can't get out of this. If you land in the middle, that's what you want to get, and you try to get in. Often you'll get thrown up one more time, and then turn the volume down a bit. And then you'll try to reorient yourself to try to get in. When they throw you, they try to throw you in relative away from the pipe. Because they do not want you to reach the leftmost pipe that is in the room, which happens to be that pipe. So it will throw you straight up if you're directly above it. If you're to the left of it, it will kind of throw you straight up. It won't throw you to the left too bad. If you're to the right of it, you'll kind of get stuck against the wall like this. You can kind of jump around, do whatever, but you won't be able to get out of this. And you can kind of see there's these two lumps that kind of show where the 3 places you can land. Even if you get it all perfectly and land in the middle and then get thrown up and then land in the middle of it again, stuff can mess up. Things can happen. Because both of these target you at different times, can target you at different times. If it aggroes too many times in a row, as in both of them aggro when you cross the little spot that I said it would aggro at, that counts as one aggro. But if one aggroes separately when it comes over here, and then the other aggroes 3 seconds later, that second one will probably try to kill you. Comparative to, they'll both try to throw you up and away. Because they try to throw you away 2 times, and then they'll try to kill you. If you allow a decent period of time before they throw you that 3rd time, they will throw you 3 times and then kill you on the 4th. So don't run into them too fast if you're trying Hazer % stuff. But yeah, this was this part, and we'll see about the whole depths part in a little bit, if I in fact make it out of here. Goodbye.